It is 8 minutes after the hour, 71 degrees in downtown Sylacauga on this Thursday morning. Safe Southern Dance and Performing Arts Company presenting Thornton Wilder's Our Town. That's coming up real soon, and joining us today is Joseph McDonald and Ryan Alcaino. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Listen, y'all are on the road with this show. Talk about it.
Yes, sir. This is the first show that SDPAC has done that is performing outside of Sylacauga. Just tomorrow, we will be opening our show at the Dadeville Performing Arts Center in Dadeville. And that will run to tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, the 14th and 15th. And then the following week, that will be the 20th and the 21st, we will be in the Childersburg Rec Center. So we'll be performing there. So yeah, and not only is this the first show we're doing out of town, it's the first show that we're carrying to 2 different locations.
And it's got to be an exciting time, Ryan, to get out of the drapings of Sylacauga and get it on the road.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been working on this for a couple of months now, and we're ready to show people because we think we've got something good.
Talk about Our Town. What is it?
Our Town is a tale that explores ordinary life. It's so different. I've talked about this several times. It's so different from lots of other plays because many plays are set in crazy circumstances, but Our Town is perfectly normal and shows that the most unimportant moments of life that we may deem unimportant have more meaning than we could ever believe. And stage manager Ryan's character explores that several times, and he has a great deal of lines that tell that tale.
Now, Ryan, how long have you been doing this?
Well, I'd be lying if I said that this is my first production because I was a theater major at UAB back when I was an undergrad years ago. So almost 20 years, but I've taken a very long hiatus from theater, and Joseph and his dad, Patrick. What's the stage
manager do?
Oh, well, stage manager is he's not quite a traditional character. He's almost like a narrator. He's almost like a character. He does interact with the other characters in the play, but mostly he interacts with the crowd, with the audience. So he is telling the story while he is a part of the story, and he's kind of coordinating everything. It's a very strange character.
Wow. Joseph, you're a director?
Yes, sir. I am directing the show along with the help of my father, Patrick McDonald. We have been working on this for the past couple months.
How did you get started?
How did I get started?
Yeah.
Well, I have to owe a great deal of just some value to the Sylacauga Community Playhouse. We'll be also performing this summer later on because I did my first ever production with them in The Little Mermaid Jr. back in 2015. I played Scuttle in that, the seagull, and from there I just absolutely loved it.
You went from a seagull to now.
Yes, sir. Perform with theaters all over Alabama. I'm currently minoring in theater in my studies at Auburn University, and this is the first big production that I've ever actually directed, and it's been an absolute blast.
So where did you guys go to high school?
I'll let you start.
Well, I went to Coosa Valley Academy,
okay,
just down the road.
Harpersville. Yeah, okay.
That's right.
And I was homeschooled.
Okay, all right. Now, getting back to the show itself, Our Town, who's some of the people who are playing the roles in this show?
Well, as you know, that Ryan Alcaino will be playing stage manager. A couple of main characters may include George Gibbs is the character. He'll be being played by Michael Vick. Michael Vick has been featured in several of our productions.
He's a veteran now, isn't he?
Oh, he has been absolutely seasoned with theater. He started back in 2017, I believe, with Aladdin Jr., also with the Sylacauga Community Playhouse. And then Emily Webb, another main character, is being played by Keegan Messer, who is also extraordinarily seasoned. Similar to me, she has performed with theaters all over Alabama and is an absolutely amazing actress and is incredible to see on stage.
So, what does it take to put this show together?
Well, this show is a little different from most shows because most shows you have costuming, you have directing, you have acting, and you have set. But for this show, the set is incredibly minimalistic. That is how Thornton Wilder designed it to be. Just a couple chairs, a couple ladders, and optionally a table or two. So this show does not have the set design
We used
requirements.
to see these things on TV, these small sets like this. It's very interesting.
It is. But no, generally a show takes several different branches of people to put on. And that's why theater is such a diverse and really beneficial thing to be a part of, because there is room for everybody in it. There's room for engineers, there's room for audio visual, there's room for the arts, the acting, the directing, and even costuming with clothing design.
Ryan, it's got to be exciting every time the curtain raises, right?
It's an exhilarating, I'm sure for many people it's a little scary. It's exciting, it's fun, a lot of adrenaline, absolutely.
So it all starts, what, tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, July
14th.
14th in Dadeville at the Dadeville Performing Arts Center. You can buy tickets in advance or at the door. Both prices will be $15. You can buy tickets at our website, sdpac.net. That is sdpac.net. Or you can see us just downtown. I think it's 109 North Broadway Avenue, just down the road.
Now you can you expect a different audience, hopefully from over in East Alabama and the Montgomery area and places like that.
Absolutely. Part of the reason we're carrying the show so far in other areas is to get actors and patrons of the arts from those areas. We already have several people in our production and past productions as well that have came as far as the Tuscaloosa area to come be in our shows, and this is just going to help us expand our reach even further. Now,
Next weekend you'll be in Childersburg.
yes, sir, the Childersburg Rec Center. They have been very gracious to let us use their space for a couple performances. And that'll also be a very great venue to have there. It'll be slightly higher capacity than the Dadeville Performing Arts Center, but I also believe that we can expect more tickets from that area.
Do y'all scout out the areas before you commit to go into a certain venue?
Yes, sir. We when we originally started thinking about going to different theaters and things, we instantly started talking to different representatives of those theaters. And the Childersburg Rec Center, we went and we looked inside of there and kind of saw what the space would need.
As a stage manager, how do you prepare for a show?
The number one thing is learning your lines, because I have so many lines to remember. It's extremely difficult.
How do you do that?
Well,
I've got notes in front of me,
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to go back to your days in middle school and high school to try and memorize things, but a lot of it's just repetition. The more that you know the lines, the more that you know the character. And, you think about that, and you kind of think about the role, what he's trying to say, what he's trying to do, and...
Do you place yourself in that character's role, so to speak?
Yes, I think you have to, especially with something like theater, where on film you can do a scene for 30 seconds or a minute, and then they call cut, and then you go on to the next one. And this one, it's straight through, so you do have to mentally prepare yourself to play that role.
So, Joseph, when did we start working on Our Town?
When did we start working on Our Town? Our auditions were held early to mid-May, and our first rehearsals were held soon thereafter. So a total of about 2 months, 2.5 months.
That's pretty good turnaround.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2 months, 2.5 months of work have gone into this production. That's pretty standard for a lot of productions. You generally expect a couple months preparation. But
So, talk more in depth about the play Our Town.
so the big thing about the play is that there is relatability for everybody. Given that this is a very realistic setting, we want to make sure that there are relatable characters for everybody in this play. There are several parents in the play that all of the parents in the audience can relate to. We see people going through the stages of life of being teenagers, experience romance for the first time, and the teenagers in the audience can relate to that. And even smaller children in the play. Ryan's daughter, Sophia, is going to be featured in the play, so that it's a play for an audience that knows no bounds. Everybody can find something to relate to in the play. There are people that have more questionable life choices than others. There are people with more stability than others. So there is such an array to choose from of people in this play, just like real life. Everybody is different.
So, can this kind of grab you when once you get started in productions like this?
I think absolutely. Yeah, especially a production like this. You know, like Joseph is saying, it's a slice of American life, and yeah, it was written in the 30s, but it's definitely relatable to today, and I absolutely think that it can grab you. I mean, I think it's, you know, real life is in many ways more interesting than, you know, whatever fantasies we can come up with. Because
You know, a lot of people think, man, I wish I could go back to yesterday. You know, it seems so much simpler, you know?
It's funny you should mention that, because I'm going to give a little spoiler before opening night tomorrow, but in the third act of the play, one of our characters is given the opportunity to kind of go back and review upon her life. And that is when we get some of the deeper realizations of the play, when we get the spine of our production. And that third act really, really sets the audience's minds alive. In my director's letter that I've written for the play, the last words that you will read in it are sit back, relax, and realize the show.
Wow. Now, how long is the production?
About 2 hours and 45 minutes. Each act is about 50 minutes with a 10-minute intermission.
Okay. Now, this is for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Everyone.
There is no PG-13 marking on this. This is a show that anybody and their children can see.
Yeah. All right. Again, how can we get tickets?
You can get those tickets at sdpac.net or calling the studio, or you can just see us downtown at 109 North Broadway Avenue.
Now, maybe we whet the appetites of potential stars that want to get into production and want to get into acting. How do they get started?
How do they get started? Well, we have an upcoming season as well. We do not stop here. We have several plays coming up. We have a production of Harvey in the fall. We're doing the Rodgers and Hammerstein version of Cinderella in the spring, and then we're doing a production for the kids of Annie in the summer. So you can follow us on Facebook, and we post all of our auditions on there. You simply sign up to audition, and we'll see you in.
All right. Again, we're in Dadeville Friday and Saturday, and in Childersburg next weekend.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Thank you both for coming today.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
very
us.
much.
Our town. And joining us this morning is Joseph McDonald, who is the co-director, and Ryan Alcaino, who's the stage manager. You don't want to miss Our Town. We've got more Daybreak just ahead.